History is filled with remarkable figures, but two names stand out above all others: Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. These men shaped the ancient world like no others. Their empires stretched across continents. Their influence lasted for centuries. Alexander was a young king from Macedonia. He dreamed of uniting the known world under Greek culture. His conquests took him from Greece to India. He never lost a battle. Genghis Khan came from humble beginnings. He united the Mongol tribes and built the largest land empire in history. His descendants ruled from China to Eastern Europe. Both men were military geniuses. They didn't just conquer lands, they changed cultures and opened up trade routes. Their legacies continue to fascinate us today. But who left the greatest mark on history? Let's explore their stories and decide. Alexander was born a prince in Macedonia in 356 BCE. His father was King Philip II. From an early age, Alexander showed great promise. He was tutored by the philosopher Aristotle, but his true passion was military strategy. At just 20 years old, Alexander became king. His father had been assassinated. Alexander quickly proved himself a brilliant leader. Then he set his sights on the mighty Persian Empire. He defeated the Persian king Darius III in several battles. He conquered Egypt and was welcomed as a liberator. His empire stretched from Greece to India. Alexander died in Babylon at just 32 years old. Genghis Khan's story begins very differently from Alexander's. He was born around 1162 CE in Mongolia. His birth name was Temujin. His early life was hard. His father was murdered when he was young. His family was abandoned by their clan. They lived in poverty on the harsh steppes, but Temujin was determined to survive. He slowly built alliances with other clans. He showed great skill as a leader and warrior. By 1206, he had united all the Mongol tribes. They gave him the title Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. Genghis Khan turned the Mongols into a mighty fighting force. They were skilled horsemen and archers. Their tactics were revolutionary. Under Genghis Khan, the Mongols conquered much of Asia. Genghis Khan died in 1227, but his sons and grandsons continued his conquests. The Mongol Empire eventually stretched from Korea to Eastern Europe. Both Alexander and Genghis Khan were military innovators. They changed the way wars were fought. Alexander's phalanx formation was nearly unbeatable. It was a tight formation of soldiers with long spears. The Macedonian cavalry could then flank the enemy. Alexander also used siege engines in new ways. He could take cities that were thought impregnable. Genghis Khan's innovations were just as impressive. He organized his army into units of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. This made it very flexible. The Mongols could split up or come together quickly. They used horse archers to devastating effect. These tactics allowed them to defeat much larger armies. Both leaders were also master strategists. Alexander often led from the front. He inspired his men with personal bravery. Genghis Khan was known for his psychological warfare. Their military successes were staggering. Both men faced and defeated enemies with much larger armies. Alexander and Genghis Khan weren't just conquerors, they were also cultural revolutionaries. Alexander spread Greek culture across his empire. This led to the Hellenistic period. Greek art, architecture, and philosophy spread to Egypt and Asia. Many cities he founded became centers of learning. The most famous was Alexandria in Egypt. Genghis Khan's impact was different but equally profound. The Mongol Empire created a vast trading network. The Silk Road became safer under Mongol protection. Ideas and technologies spread across Eurasia. The legacies of these conquests lasted for centuries. The Mongol Empire created a period of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Mongolica. So, who left the greatest legacy, Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan? It's a difficult question to answer. Both men achieved incredible things. They conquered vast territories. They changed the course of history, but their impacts were very different. Alexander's legacy is primarily cultural. He spread Greek civilization across a vast area. This led to a blending of Eastern and Western cultures. The Hellenistic period produced great advances in art, literature, and science. Genghis Khan's legacy is more complex. He created the largest land empire in history. It facilitated trade and cultural exchange on an unprecedented scale. In the end, both men left indelible marks on history. Alexander changed the face of the ancient world. Genghis Khan shaped the world we live in today. Their stories remind us of the incredible impact one person can have on the world.